Mom, today at school someone said that Native Americans don't exist anymore. Why would they say that?
Well, honey, our people have endured many hardships throughout our history, but we are still a strong, unified group of people, and sometimes others don't understand that.
What kind of hardship?
Let me tell you a little bit about our history. For many years, our ancestors were the only people on this continent, until one day when European settlers came by boat. These European people wanted to take over the land and spread the word of Christianity.
Is that like Christopher Columbus?
Yeah, it is. When Columbus first landed on America, he thought he found India. That's how the term Indians started.
Was Columbus good?
His story is often told as a good one because he discovered this new land for the Europeans. But our ancestors had discovered it long, long ago. He often had to use violence against the resistance of Native Americans, who didn't want to leave their land. Diseases were some of the worst things that Europeans and Columbus brought to America. They had brought diseases like smallpox, measles, and influenza, and many Native Americans died from these new diseases.
Then what happened?
After stealing our land, they decided that all the Native Americans should all live in the same place. Over many decades, the Europeans forced us to move from our ancestral lands to what they called Indian Territory. One of the worst forced removals was called the Trail of Tears.
Why was it called that?
Our people were forced to walk for thousands of miles to an unknown destination, which was later called a reservation. This journey was very difficult and often deadly.
Our ancestors didn't want to go to reservations?
No, they didn't. But the Europeans didn't give them a choice. They often used violence or unfair treaties to get us to leave our lands.
I thought treaties were like deals that both sides liked.
They usually are, but back then, that wasn't the case. The treaties were all written in English, a language that few of our ancestors spoke. Because of this, our people didn't always know what they were agreeing to and found themselves forced out of their own land.
Wait, doesn't Grandpa live on a reservation?
Yes, he does, and I grew up there. It is called the La Coudray Reservation, and it's a part of the Ojibwe Nation.
Oh yeah, I knew we were Ojibwe.
Yeah, we are, and you should be very proud.
What happened after they put us in reservations?
After that, these Europeans wanted to tell us how to live. They created boarding schools to make us speak English and try to erase our traditions.
But why would they do that?
They wanted to make us be like them. They made us speak English, which was their language. They cut our hair to make us look like them. They even made us use European names.
That's not fair, Mom.
I know, but a lot of what was happening wasn't fair to us.
But that was a long, long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was. But there were unfair things happening when I was growing up, and even now. When I was a girl growing up on the Lakota Reservation, we again felt like we were being treated unfairly. Because of treaties and tribal sovereignty, we have our own government and can make our own laws on the reservation. This meant that we were allowed to fish for walleye even when it wasn't the fishing season. Communities surrounding us were mad that we were fishing for walleye when they weren't allowed to, so they protested. They said awful things to us and about us. Eventually, a United States judge ruled that we could fish even when the white people couldn't. That didn't stop the protests, though.
Was that scary?
I remember being very scared, but I was also proud. I would watch the white protesters with my dad, but then I would see all of our family, friends, and neighbors join together sticking up for our rights. So next time when you're at school, you can tell your classmates the stories I told you. Look how far we have come. American Indians have such a rich history, filled with hardship, but also filled with strength, bravery, and triumph. Always remember that.
Thank you for telling me about our past, Mom. When I grow up, I want to make sure everyone knows these stories and treats all communities with respect so stuff like this doesn't happen again. I love our culture and I'm proud to be Ojibwe.
Yes, it is. When Columbus first landed on America...
What happened?
Yeah, we are... The worst thing that had... It just doesn't make any sense. The story is often told as a good one because he discovered this new land for the Europeans. But our ancestors...